We're getting ready for the finals here in week 7 of the Standard Super League. It's going to be Owen Turtenwald, who's currently in first place overall and by a million points, against Tom Ross, who is actually in second place right now as he sits down to play this finals match, but not by much. Tom Ross is at 80. Paul Cheon is at 75, having gotten 10 points from Kenji. And Jerry Thompson is at 70. So super, super tight as could be between the three of them. And then Brad Nelson at 55, Josh Utter-Layton at 45 are still alive to make the playoffs, although either one of them would pretty much need to win next week and get help.
They have outs to make the finals if the right people lose, right? If they get 20 points and then all the other people just like Jerry, Tom, and Paul all like lose round one.
Josh is must win. Josh's only chance to make the playoffs requires him to win next week, and he has to get help. He has to not have two other people accumulate enough points. Gotcha. Brad mathematically can tie for third by getting 2 wins next week, but that requires both Jerry and Paul to lose in the first round, which might not even be possible. It is possible. Yeah, so mathematically, Brad can sneak into the playoffs without winning, but it's very unlikely. Pretty much, you got 3 guys that are all but tied. Tom can get a cushion here, and then Brad and Josh must win. Andrew and Brian definitely eliminated now. Andrew and Brian are worried about last place. It's Brian versus Jerry next week. We actually have next week's bracket. I don't know if that's handy to bring up, or we can look at what's going to be happening next week, kind of looking ahead. So Paul against Andrew is the guy currently in third place versus the guy who doesn't want to finish last. Jerry Thompson versus Brian Kibler is the guy currently in fourth place versus the guy who doesn't want to finish last. Oh, wow. And Tom versus Brad. That is lots of playoff hopes and dreams on the line for sure.
Yeah, that's a big match. That's the match with the closest point total, because all the other pairs are people with wildly disparate point totals. Of course, Owen against anyone is a wildly disparate point total.
Yeah, and the same is true of Andrew and Brian, honestly. Not quite as disparate, but similar, but in the other direction. Yeah, it should be a fun week next week. And I'm looking forward to these playoffs. The whole unified standard best 3 out of 5 thing, that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We are getting Owen and Tom set up for this championship match. Are they just about ready, or should we look at the bracket and take stock of how we got here? Sounds like they are just about ready. So Owen is on Abzan Control. Tom is on Green Red Dragons. Standard had gone through loop-de-loops and changes, and basically with this finals, we're right back where we were when the format started, right? When Dragons of Tarkir was printed, these were the 2 decks that people were playing. Turns out they're still pretty good.
I like Owen's hand in this matchup. Thoughtseize, Murderous Cut, and Hero's Downfall are all excellent cards here, and a Courser to accumulate advantage. I mean, this is exactly what Owen signed up for.
Tom's hand is Mystic into Coursers. It's not bad either. I guess he doesn't. It's one of those awarded foothills. Yeah.
Tom needs. Well, no, it's a Rugged Highlands. So.
Oh, they both come into play tapped.
Yeah, Tom's not going to have an untapped land, and I suspect Owen's going to start cutting down on the number of Coursers here, because Courser is the kind of card that Owen does want to limit, especially since you don't want to take a mana accelerant here. Tom has lots of mana, and Draconic Roar is definitely not something that you're really worried about.
Sounds like Owen should take Courser.
That seems like the plan. Usually when they have double of a card, it's not as fun, but it's still, I think, pretty good to do that.
Tom needs an untapped land if he wants to play his other Courser. But instead he draws Thunderbreak Regent, which is not bad. He gets to play Rattleclaw Mystic into that, right?
Yeah, I like Rattleclaw here. So Tom chose not to play the Rugged Highlands. It's a small detail, but I think it's interesting. It's cool because Tom has a Courser in hand, so he'll have a better idea of when to play his Scryland. No point wasting a Scry. So Owen's grinding plan is in full effect here. He gets to play Courser, he gets to pass the turn, and then his next couple turns are just removal spell, removal spell, removal spell over whatever Tom plays.
Makes sense.
Tom's certainly not going to play Den Protector, well, unprotected. you against Abzan, you really don't want to play that without 2 mana untapped. And also, despite Tom's good sequencing on the tap lands, I think he might actually just go Thunderbreak plus Scryland here.
Sees a Creator's Clause.
I don't love it this course of the game, but I guess it kills the Courser, so that's not completely unreasonable to keep.
Owen just takes 3 to the face and kills Thunderbreak, yeah?
Presumably, he's got a couple options though. He can, if he doesn't want to draw that Bioblight, he can play Satyr Wayfinder to mill the Bioblight, giving himself another shot at the Courser, and then use Murderous Cut, or he can just use the Hero's Downfall and end up spending 3 mana here. I like milling the Bioblight though. You really don't want to draw Bioblight here. You'd rather ideally hit a land on top, but even better, just getting to a good spell is a good idea.
Well, he took a Scryland from the Wayfinder. Now it's an Abzan Charm on top of his library instead of a Bioblight.
It's kind of interesting because you don't want to actually scry the Abzan Charm away here, I don't think, but you would rather play a tap. Yeah.
So he just wants to get through the comes into play tap part of the Scryland and leaves the Abzan Charm on top.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, makes sense. Now,
Owen could have tried waiting a turn. His hand is 2 3-drops, and he has 4 lands in play, so next turn he'd be able to play only 1 anyway. So it's possible that he wanted to wait and just play the Scryland next turn, but this does let him draw Ultimate Price or Satyr Wayfinder off the Abzan Charm and play both in the same turn.
now, what's the play if you're Tom?
I kind of like just burning away the Courser with Creator's Clause here. You can, I mean, I think the other valid play is just Den Protector to get back the Thunderbreak. Playing Courser, I don't know, I don't love it as much.
Seems like 3 legit options. He can play his own Courser.
Oh, I think they're all legit. I would rank Courser as number 3 though, because your other 2 plays cost 5 mana, and you just played a 3 mana play. Especially, I mean, if you hit, it's great. You can play a face down Den Protector. So maybe that's the upside. If you hit an untapped land, you can play a Den Protector, and you can use 6 mana on your turn, which is awesome. But
then your Den Protector is probably going to die before you get to flip it over.
Yeah, you run the risk of that for sure.
Well, he went Courser. He did not hit a land. So Courser's all he got to do with this turn. Owen draws that Abzan Charm, does hit a free land, and sees that a Den Protector is coming. And it just feels like grindy Abzan doing its grindy thing.
One advantage to Tom's line is that he might be able to trade an Elf and a Draconic Roar for a Courser. No, Owen's too smart for that.
Only attacks with the Wayfinder.
He did see the Draconic Roar, so it's not like a huge surprise, but, you know, sometimes things happen. So now we're kind of back at the same turn, same play next turn.
Indeed.
Another disadvantage to that play last turn is that 1 removal spell, if you don't hit a land, 1 removal spell does kind of take your whole turn, whereas if you cast Creator's Clause or you cast Den Protector, you're still getting value against a removal spell. Owen in the same, Scryland versus 6 mana spells, but here he's got Den Protector to substitute as a 5 mana spell. So I think Owen's feeling pretty good about this. Like, his one vulnerability is to Stormbreath Dragon, but because he has Abzan Charms that can't kill it, but Den Protector can get back Murder's Cut or Hero's Downfall, so they can take care of it. Thunderbreak Regent getting pulled back here. Or potentially a Courser.
It's a Courser. Yeah, Tom actually puts a lot of value on that Courser here.
Yeah, the problem I have with just all these Courser lines is Owen's deck is, I think, more suited to take care of Courser. It's got, more lands, more scry lands. It also has like Satyr Wayfinders in general, and Owen is just like playing a control deck with Abzan Charms to draw cards. Tom's not pressuring Owen at all, and Owen's just running away with the game.
The Courser does pressure Owen indirectly through that Creator's Clause. I mean, it could be that Tom wants to get so many lands in play that he's literally just planning to burn Owen out eventually.
Yeah, from 17 with a Courser in play, that seems implausible. I think Tom's going to have to hit a few times with dragons to make that a thing. I guess Den Protectors mean you can run it back?
Right, I mean, Draconic Roar is probably going to do 3 at some point. Creator's Clause, yeah. I mean, if he comes up with 1 dragon, I mean, ideally he gets in a hit with a dragon. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's a great plan. I'm just saying that maybe part of why Tom values the Courser so much here.
Yeah.
I mean, while Owen's playing a control deck, it's not like he has counterspells.
Yeah, I could see Owen running the trade here. Yeah, he just flips his own Den Protector.
Hero's Downfall is the card Owen wants.
Looks like Tom likely going to Draconic Roar here. Seems like the best use of that card. He misses out on the 3 damage, but he gets the 3 damage from the Courser right away, or from the Den Protector. So that's
sure.
You're already getting your value.
Yeah, Den Protector gets in for 3. No longer anything that can block it. Rhinos for days.
Well, Siege Rhino does also make the burning plan a little bit less exciting.
True story. It even blocks Den Protector.
Kind of does it all.
Tom does get a free land off his Courser. He's got another Den Protector of his own. Does it make sense to use Creator's Clause to just kill the Rhino? Get in with...
You can. I just don't really know how you're trying to win this game at this point.
I mean, clearing a path for Den Protector, I guess you know about Hero's Downfall. And I think you know about one of the Abzan Charms.
Yeah, I think you know about both, actually. So, given that, you can clear a path, hit Tom down to 15, get downfalled, or potentially get Abzan Charmed. Yeah, I mean, maybe you do that just because you got nothing better to do, but it still seems tough to run that.
I'm also looking, I mean, Creator's Clause to the face is what? We're up to 6, 7? And then Den Protector to get it again? We're getting there. I mean, and Owen dredged away his Thoughtseize. I'm not saying it's a great plan, especially with Rhino coming and a Courser in play.
Right. You're nowhere close to burning Owen out. You can do 7 damage, and then you can get it back and do 7 damage again. That's not even close, especially against a Siege Rhino that's coming down and another Courser that's in play. So I think starting by going Creator's Clausing the Rhino, attacking, getting your creature killed.
There's definitely value in forcing Owen to blow his Hero's Downfall, right? Because it opens up Stormbreath Dragon as a good top deck. Can't Abzan
but Owen might just Abzan Charm instead, though. Also, you can't actually do... If you do that and you attack, Owen just Abzan Charms to make his Courser a 4/6 and just snaps off the block, which seems kind of disastrous to you also.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think Tom has like any great lines here, but yeah, Owen's drawing another Den Protector. Tom at this point can like try to line up some kind of blocks, but playing against Abzan Charm plus Hero's Downfall means double blocking Not going to work out particularly well.
This is the other drawback to not killing a rhino, huh? Now it attacks.
Problem is you don't have a good block here regardless. And then next turn you get hit by another rhino, and then you get to Crater's Claws 1. Feels like Tom's probably going to be priced into casting these Crater Claws on rhino no matter what, so you might as well start it last turn. It just saves you a little bit of damage. I still don't love the position you're in. Death Mist Raptor can trade for rhino. That at least is nice, but I guess it's just going to get Abzan Charmed. At this point, Owen doesn't need to even cast his Abzan Charms to draw cards. He's so much gas. He's got Den Protector waiting in the wings. He really wants to Abzan Charm a Death Mist Raptor at some point.
Free land off the Courser, but now it's a Mystic on top. You can shuffle that away with Foothills at least.
Tom sees an another Elvish Mystic on top. I feel like he should just go to the next game. Thunderbreak Region's not the worst. It's probably not going to get him out of it by himself, but it's a start, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. This face down Raptor with the ability to flip it. Face up Raptor.
No matter what, Abzan Charm is such a good trump to Raptor that I think it's going to be really hard for Tom to get out of this. I think you have to start by casting Crater's Claws, and then hoping to Den Protector Crater's Claws back and cast another Crater's Claws, and then I guess hope to outdraw Owen from there, which is going to be tough because Owen has Den Protector coming up, Charm, Hero's Downfall in hand, and Owen is significantly ahead on life, so it's not like Owen's getting pressured or Tom can draw a card to just kill Owen.
All right, here's mana. Crater's Claws for 5. Now, does Owen put a couple +1/+1 counters as a response?
I would. I feel like that's actually a pretty good value. You have a Den Protector to get back the other the Abzan Charm in case of a Death Mist Raptor. I wonder if Tom took this into account, because Tom could have overpaid.
Right. I think he's clearing a path for Death Mist. He doesn't want to get his Death Mist Raptor exiled.
Oh, no one's even actually going 1-1. But he knows Owen has Den Protector, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, I think, knew that was a possibility. He definitely saved his mana for Death Mist.
Land on the bottom. Ooh.
Elspeth.
Owen has exactly enough mana to exile the Death Mist Raptor. There's no point in doing it now, though, because the Siege Rhinos have Trample. You might as well see how Tom blocks first. Alternately, Owen could also just ignore the Death Mist Raptor and then Hero's Downfall the face-down creature, which I assumes is Den Protector. Then you can attack with both Rhinos, trade one for a Death Mist Raptor, and deal 5 to Tom. And then end of turn, get back Den Protector. That's not too bad. If you kill the morph, then I think either way Owen wants to attack and then decide, but if you kill the morph, then you don't have to worry too much about. I guess Tom can't get anything that's that great back. I kind of like just killing Abzan Charming the Death Mist Raptor. That deals so much damage right now.
Death Mist is going to step in front of one of the Rhinos. Oh, double block with Corsair? Tom knows about the hero's downfall.
Or the Abzan charm.
Yeah. This does not look like a great matchup for Green Red Dragons.
No, the Heroes Downfall, Murderous Cut, Thoughtseize are all really problematic for the Dragons deck.
I mean, if you Green Red Devotion, it feels like you have the ability to just go broken and get over the top of what Abzan's capable of. But this Green Red Dragons deck doesn't really have that gear.
Yeah, it's like a Green Red Devotion deck that can't go off, and going off is kind of how it wins the game. It often forces a sweeper, whereas
Right.
Owen can actually win these games off just like Downfall, Den Protector, Downfall, Abzan Charm. So
Tom has committed to a block. Owen just has to decide how he wants to bust him up. He allows the trade, the double block trade to happen. Yeah, he decided he wanted to kill the big stuff.
Still prioritizing killing the Morph, which locks Tom into having a Thunderbreak region and nothing else going on.
And Owen still has the ability to flip his Den Protector. There is the Thunderbreak region. But yeah, 23-6 at this point.
Owen can flip back Den Protector and get like a Rhino. He could get a removal spell. Next turn, he's going to have 3 mana left over after the Elspeths.
Den Protector looks like, is that Charm or is that, oh, it's Den Protector, of course. Can't pass up more grindy value.
So at this point, Elspeth, you could go Elspeth, immediately minus to kill Thunderbreak, then play a face down Den Protector and pass. If you play Elspeth, you're going to want to minus it, I think. It's possible Owen just plays Den Protector.
Yeah, Den Protector, flip it, get a removal spell.
Looks like an Abzan Charm for the Death Mist Raptor.
Looks like it.
And then you get to attack with your Siege Rhino, which forces Thunderbreak plus a Rattleclaw block.
Nope, it's going for the Thunderbreak.
Interesting.
Death Mist gets a trade in, but all the other blocks are bad. And Tom is down to 6, so is that? Oh, that's just lethal with the trample damage.
Block.
Crazy.
Oh, it's because the Raptor can't. It has to block Siege Rhino, and nothing can block Den Protector.
So, oh, of course. Yeah, it's just lethal.
Block. I don't know if it was. Oh, it was a 5/6 Rhino. Yes, as a 5/6 Rhino it is lethal. Well, that was a grindy game, but that was exactly what Abzan tried to do. It just went Thoughtseize, Corsair, removal spell, and that was about it.
Pretty much. Owen Turtenwald takes the lead, up 1-0 here in the finals. Once again, trying to do everybody else who wants to make the playoffs a favor. Tom Ross does have second place. He does have a 5-point lead on third and the 10-point lead on fourth. But he'd much rather be up 20 points than 5 points. And 25 points on fourth place. Got to stay out of third. Top 3 make the playoffs. So Jerry, Paul, Tom, all jockeying for position. Maybe Josh or Brad can still get in there by winning next week. Certainly all kinds of crazy scenarios stay alive if Owen keeps winning, though.
Yeah. Owen winning makes it a lot more interesting next week, actually, because it puts everyone so much closer together.
Right. Yeah, Paul can't just coast in. I mean, Tom can't just coast in. Also, Owen may keep things interesting next week. He's told us he wants 200 points.
That's true.
Nobody else is going to break 100, I don't think. Owen wants 200. Just his his performance has been kind of impressive. I mean, sort of, we've watched his ranking in the top 25 go down from 1 to 2 to 3. He's down, I think, to 5 or 6 now. Still, it just shows you how much variance there can be, I guess. His Grand Prix run in particular this season has been a crazy one. He just seems to go 11-4 at every Grand Prix. He shows up, he finishes in the money, but there's such a huge difference between 11-4, which is only worth 1 pro point, and then 12-3. That one match win is actually worth 2 pro points. He's infinite 1 point finishes at this point, and can't actually seem to get more than a couple of good Grand Prix finishes.
I actually think 11-4 should be 2 points, and on X and 10-5 should be 1 point. I think Grand Prix are big enough and it's hard enough. And honestly, most of these points are going to go to people that don't combine the points in a way that is actually detrimental to Wizards. It's not like they're going to end up overrun with people at levels. I don't know. I think that they'd make them a lot more appealing to travel to, and I think it's not a huge difference. So
yeah, I mean, I think the only concern from WotC's point of view is that they just switched from the system of giving points out based on record rather than based on position, and they have to be a little bit careful about accidentally giving away too many points and letting too many people get to platinum. That said, I certainly agree that most of the pro points that get given out don't actually get used toward platinum or gold status.
And it's getting pro points is sweet for people even who don't use them. Like I
totally feels good.
I like getting pro points even when I didn't have any use for them, which is apparently most seasons nowadays. No, but the first couple of Grand Prix I played at when I had no aspirations or anything like that, so it was cool.
Yeah, Owen his Grand Prix are 6-3-3 and then 1-1-1. Those are the 6 that count, and there's at least 3 or 4 more ones after that.
Yeah. So Tom didn't have a Mana element this game, which is gonna make Owen's job a lot easier, because now Owen gets to look and just kind of decide which of these good spells to take. There's no mana versus good spells; they're just all good spells. Tom's hand is pretty stacked, though.
Assuming he draws a 4th land.
He gets not necessarily an extra look, because Owen could Thoughtseize a Courser, and then if Tom plays a Courser, Owen gets to ultimate price the second Courser. It could be that Xenagos is a bigger threat because Owen's removal can handle everything else efficiently.
Yeah, he's basically got to decide whether he wants to leave a Courser in play, right? I mean, he can deal with the Xenagos, or he can start fighting the Courser fight. He goes for the Courser. And then Scribeland sees a forest.
Should I imagine he's binning?
That'd be my guess as well. Land off the top for Tom Ross.
And here I think you also want to drop Courser off the 2 wooded foothills. You don't want to reveal that you've drawn on a 4th land. And you don't really want to take an extra point off Mana Confluence, I don't think.
Yeah, that's basically Tom's decision here. He's clearly going to play a Courser.
The advantage to leaving Foothills in hand is you can crack it for a different land other than Forest, if that's a thing. Also, you just get to shuffle with Courser, but I don't think Courser is going to survive here.
No. He does go for the Wooded Foothills.
Had Owen not had a way to kill Courser, he's a lot less likely to take it with Thoughtseize there.
Right.
And, I think Tom is aware of that.
Tom reveals a roast on top of his library.
Oh, I wonder if Owen did leave the Forest there, because he did draw one.
It's not crazy. I mean, it's land number 5.
Yeah.
Death Protector, given Elspeth.
Elspeth.
Elspeth still means, no, you do have the double white for Elspeth. Rattleclaw moves to the top of Tom's library. Owen gets that free information, and before the end of Tom's draw step, uses his ultimate price on the Courser. 4th land for Tom. We knew about the Mana Confluence last turn, so down comes Xenagos. And now this is kind of the window Owen gave him, right? Owen fought the Courser fight and won it, but he had to leave Xenagos in with a Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize is kind of nice here, because you know there's a Rattleclaw coming up, so you can take Thunderbreak if you want, and then play a Death Mist Raptor, and then setting up a Den Protector next turn. You could take Roast and then play. Oh, actually, Xenagos getting to plus means that taking a dragon, he gets to play the other one no matter what. And you could take Roast and play a face down Den Protector, and then Tom plays a dragon. Then next turn you flip up Den Protector, getting ultimate price, and then killing the dragon, and then killing Xenagos with your attack. So
wow, that sounds pretty good.
I kind of like doing that, but
well, he did not take Roast.
So he's just gonna take the Thunder Break, which was my first instinct, but the fact that Xenagos gets to plus means that Storm Breath still gets to come out. I guess Owen can take 4 down to 10. Alternately, Tom can go Roast, play a Rattleclaw, make a token, attack for 4. But him using Roast on a Death Mist when you have a Den Protector in hand is not the end of the world, certainly.
So you go Storm Breath here if you're Tom?
I don't love Roasting's Death Mist, so yeah, I'd probably play Storm Breath, force someone to have a removal spell. You get to chump. You know, if Owen has a removal spell, it's not great for Tom. It might actually be better to force Owen to have Den Protector by roasting here.
To that line is Roast, make a Satyr, play a Rattleclaw.
Yeah, attack for 4. You end up with 3 creatures in play. If Owen has a removal spell, you don't care too much, but a Den Protector is disastrous. Whereas if you plus Xenagos and play Storm Breath, which is what looks like Tom is doing, you get wrecked less often, but against a removal spell, you're in a lot less good space because you're like Death Mist is keeping up with Xenagos, and then Storm Breath is not doing it, and it's just dying, and you end up with a pretty even board. But Owen doesn't have a removal spell right away, so.
I mean, Owen can Den Protector into ultimate price. He just has to take another hit before he can cast it.
Yeah. He could attack Xenagos. Tom could actually let Xenagos get hit down to 1 here. That doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah, I mean, Owen's at 10, so all those Satyrs have value. I assume Owen's attacking Xenagos.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's an interesting spot. Yeah, definitely Xenagos. Does Tom jump with a Satyr? Seems like no is a very reasonable answer.
Yeah, I like the no here, especially since you have Roast. If Owen plays a creature to follow it up, you can Roast, make another Satyr, and attack in a bunch.
Tom agrees with this. Death Mist knocks Xenagos down to 1 loyalty. Owen plays his Den Protector. As we know it's a Den Protector. Tom might imagine it to be a Raptor, hypothetically.
Yeah, Raptor's going to be played face up there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Land for Tom Ross.
Tom can, let's see, if he roasts the morph, makes a token, attacks Owen for 8, Owen's going to, get back ultimate price. Then Owen's at 2, facing down 3 different creatures here.
Pretty much. Yep. Owen does get back ultimate price. Here's another Satyr. Here's an attack for 8. Owen down to 2.
Owen needs to just draw Siege Rhino. It's always the answer when you're playing Abzan here, but it is true.
Yeah, End Hostilities is not good enough because the Xenagos token would be lethal. Owen doesn't have enough mana to do enough things.
No,
Elspeth can deal with Storm Breath, but not the other token, not the Satyrs.
Or it could deal with the Satyrs, but not the Storm Breath.
Right, and he can't go Elspeth and Ultimate Price. He's got the tools, but he doesn't have the time. Looks like Tom's going to force a game 3, isn't he?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
All right, there's the morph. And he's got ultimate price up, but pretty sure Tom's going to make another satyr, and just the satyrs are going to get there. Okay.
Xenagos did work this game.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Man, so the whole game, that early Thoughtseize, Owen knew this possibility existed, and he thought about it. He took his time, debated whether to Thoughtseize a Courser or a Xenagos, and it didn't work out. Doesn't mean the decision was wrong, but it definitely didn't work out.
Right.
Do you think in retrospect that just was a wrong decision, or did you just took a reasonable gamble and never came up with an answer to Xenagos? I mean, the hand was Courser,
yeah.
No fourth land, but it had a third land, right?
Yeah, it had 3 land total. Courser, Xenagos, 2 dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking Courser makes it more likely Tom gets stuck on 3 lands, in which case you win pretty easily.
Right.
But if you take Xenagos, then you're hedging a little bit. Given that Owen had ultimate price, I don't know. I kind of like taking Courser there.
It made sense to me at the time, I will admit.
Yeah.
You take one Courser, you ultimate price the other Courser. The guy's got to draw lands to even turn his hand on, and then you've got ways to deal with things like Xenagos and dragons. But yeah, Owen basically lost it at Xenagos. If he takes Xenagos, just given the way the top of the library has turned out to be set up, he's in much better shape if he had taken Xenagos.
Xenagos does some work. That card is very snowbally, because once you get ahead, it's just so hard to come back because they have 2, 4, 6. You know, the damage adds up so quickly.
Not true. All right, one last game here in Week 7 of the Standard Super League. Owen Turtenwald won the first game. Tom Ross evened things up in the second. And now this game is going to determine whether Owen stays alive for the 200 points he has taken as his new goal, or whether Tom can open up some distance between himself and the playoff bubble.
I imagine Tom's, if he doesn't mulligan here, he's got to be thinking about it.
Yeah,
this hand's super borderline. If you draw forest, this hand becomes great, but yeah, without a
the green mana.
Well, Owen's hand is not the fastest though, so.
Oh, an additional Atarka, not really what Tom wanted to draw. Yeah, Owen's hand is just kind of there.
Well, drawing Abzan Charm is nice because it gives Owen something to do on turn 3, even if it's just drawing 2 cards. Though it is just going to be drawing 2 cards because Tom is certainly not going to play anything that gets Abzan Charmed.
Wow, do you keep that hand if you're Tom Ross on the draw?
No, I would not keep that hand.
Yeah, it's 2 mana. It has to hit green, and then it's still. I mean, the hand's not spectacular. It's solid if you draw green mana, right?
Yeah, but like Crater's Claws and Atarka are both very expensive to use. Storm Breath costs 5, and yes, I understand that you play an Elvish Mystic. I don't know. It feels like that hand needs a lot to get there.
It needs to do more than just draw a forest.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you.
Owen deciding whether he's going to cast Abzan Charms to draw cards or not. If he's not going to draw cards, he clearly wants to play a tap land here, but he still has 4 mana untapped, so he can play a Windswept Heath, and then next turn still play Lannorway's Siege Rhino. So he does have. It is possible that Owen wants to just draw cards here. I kind of like drawing with Abzan Charm. You're going to play a Siege Rhino, and then they're going to play their Thunderbreak, and your Siege Rhino's in pretty good shape there. The biggest disadvantage is if Tom plays a Deathmist Raptor on turn 3, but you can keep the mana up for Abzan Charm. If he plays Deathmist Raptor, just exile it. If he doesn't play Deathmist Raptor, though, you get to draw 2 cards.
Odds of Tom playing a Deathmist Raptor seem pretty small when he goes Mountain and it comes in to play tap land.
True. Certainly not face up.
Right.
Which is the one that matters.
So where are we right now? Owen's turn?
Yeah, Owen's deciding which land to play, because even if he wants to play Abzan Charm, I would probably play Windswept Heath. You're giving up a little bit of Courser equity, but I don't really want to take the 1 damage off the Lanor Oasis this turn. So I think you're just going to crack Abzan Charm or Windswept Heath next turn. So.
It's always the little tiny micro decisions that take so much time.
Well, this land drop determines Owen's next couple turns also, so it's possible he just plays the Temple of Malady. That's the only other option, I believe. But I like Windswept Heath.
Yeah.
Tom actually drew the Death Mist Raptor. That's funny. You do lead with the Death Mist as a morph. You want to play your weakest morph first, because hoping to bait out a removal spell of some kind.
All right, Tom goes for face down Death Mist. Owen is just going to draw 2 here, yeah. Yep. Landon and Elspeth, pretty good 2 cards.
Ooh, Murderous Cut's very good.
Oh, yeah. Siege Rhino time? It is Siege Rhino time.
And Owen doesn't have untapped lands anymore, so he can play a tapped 5th land. Can't quite play a turn 6 Elspeth, but he's got a couple draw steps to find it.
Yeah, Tom he has drawn into the land he needed to turn his draw on.
The thing is, I still don't think it's like super exciting.
Fair.
And if he hadn't drawn the green, he would have just been dead. He would have done nothing. It's still a fine draw now. The problem is I don't like keeping draws that need help unless they're like pretty good when they get that help. So that being said, I haven't played the deck as much as Tom has. He may have thought that against a matchup full of 1-for-1s and a hand just with a lot of gas that just needs a green land, that's not too bad.
Owen goes for Temple here. He did draw Windswept Heath, so he can play Elspeth next turn if he wants to. And why wouldn't he want to? Murderous Cut up this turn. Oh, jeez. Tom is far enough behind that he's got to go for the triple block. Really? He gets destroyed by every removal spell in Owen's deck if he does that.
Yeah, or Abzan Charm making the Rhino a 6.
Yeah, including Abzan Charm.
Yeah, that seems ambitious, so let's not do that.
Okay, he takes the 4.
Owen deciding not to Murderous Cut a random morph, which I think is a good idea. I think it's good to not do it because I don't have enough confidence. I know which one's a Death Mist versus a Den Protector, and neither is particularly exciting right now, even a Den Protector.
Not exactly any targets for it. Tom drew another forest. He is up to 6 mana now. Slam Stormbreath or what?
You could slam Stormbreath. Owen is fairly likely to have a removal spell. You could Crater's Claws the Siege Rhino. Abzan Charm gets you really good if you do that, though.
Yeah.
And if you play Stormbreath, or you don't kill the Siege Rhino, then next turn maybe you can play a Tarka to kill it, which is generally going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I think I just slammed Stormbreath here.
Yeah, I kind of like slamming Stormbreath and hoping,
Yeah, you're crossing your fingers. You're not optimistic that this is going to work.
You could also pass an unmorph Death Mist Raptor, force Owen to either use a removal spell on Death Mist Raptor, or
trade the Rhino.
Trade it for the Rhino. But yeah, that one doesn't seem too bad. You do still spend your turn. If Owen has a removal spell, it's like kind of the same thing as a Stormbreath, except that if Owen has Abzan Charm, that play is not great for you because you just get to exile the Raptor and he gets like a pretty good amount of value from that. Looks like Tom is going to pass with the Raptor up. So Owen's got to be aware of that, and he wants to play Elspeth this turn. Elspeth plus, and then you get it Stormbreathed. Owen could slow roll Elspeth till he has Murderous Cut up. Looks like that's Owen's plan.
It's pretty smart.
And here, I think I'm less inclined to attack with the Rhino now that Tom's left all his mana up. Since he's kind of telegraphing what he's
Tom
doing.
has to have Death Mist, without a doubt.
So Tom still can't cast a Tarka. He could play Stormbreath or Crater's Claws. Owen's kind of setting up end hostilities nicely here. If Tom goes too deep, then Owen can just end hostilities, actually, which kills Den Protector without getting anything back.
Wow.
So I kind of like just casting End Hostilities here. This seems like really good value.
Yeah, you take one Storm Breath to the face. But now you get to untap End Hostilities. You're set with Elspeth and Courser to follow up.
Might as well attack with the Rhino first.
Yeah, sure.
This telegraphs End Hostilities quite quite nicely.
You get in 1 point of trample damage, though.
Well, it flipped up, so you're still not getting trample in.
Oh, you're right.
But you might as well attack. It's just a completely free attack.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Somehow I had Doran in play in my head.
Yeah.
Yep, there's the attack. Tom doesn't take any damage. Here is End Hostilities. Killing the Storm Breath, which is pretty hard for Owen's deck to deal with. The Den Protector, which is really good. And Owen will take his chances with a hand of Murderous Cut, Elspeth, Courser against Tom's 3 cards.
Tom's good. Yeah.
Tom's hand is not bad.
Yeah, he's just dropping him Tarka.
Sure.
So Owen could Murderous Cut end of turn. He could also play Elspeth and minus it just to kill the Atarka, just to make sure you get the 2-for-1 here.
It does look like he's going to Elspeth minus. I mean, I guess now he can what? Abzan Charm and Courser?
Yeah, it looks like he might just be going for Courser value.
Well, he found a land already.
And a Death Mist, which not the most exciting card, but it is a threat. So it looks like Owen's binning it and keeping the Lenore Waste here, and then exiling the Atarka, which now can't get Havened back.
Oh, right, because that's exiled. Owen's Llanowar Waste. It is Owen's library and Llanowar Waste that's covering up Tom's board. Tom draws Den Protector.
This game's going to be pretty grindy, and actually, Tom might be slightly ahead here.
Is he?
Because, well, Tom gets to go Atarka, kill your Courser. Owen goes Murderous Cut, Elspeth. Then Tom goes Crater's Claws, the Elspeth. And then
he's got a Den Protector to Owen being out of stuff?
He's got Den Protector, and he's got 2 Havens that'll get back Atarkas and Storm Breaths.
Wow.
I mean, if Owen draws 2 spells in a row, Owen's in good shape, because Owen is slightly ahead here. He gets to cut and play Elspeth and make 3 tokens, and then Tom has to spend a turn killing the Elspeth. So if on the turn that Owen plays Elspeth, he also draws like a Morph, or I guess he's drawing a Llanowar Waste. So we know he's not drawing anything else. So so Owen needs to draw like some amount of Siege Rhinos here. Den Protector would, or Death Mist Raptor would actually be really good. I guess Owen gets to save his Murderous Cut by just minusing Elspeth here.
Looks like his plan. Yeah, Elspeth minus. But Owen's down to just that Murderous Cut and 2 lands. Tom clearly needs to kill Elspeth. He does have enough mana to face down the Den Protector and flip it. Right? Crater's Claws, Den Protector, 2 left.
Looks like the line of play you want.
Yes, I would like to redirect this damage to Elspeth.
So now it's Den Protector plus double Haven against a Murderous Cut. You know, I've got to give it to the
I
Dragon's
like
deck
Tom's
here.
side. Thoughtseize slightly late. Would have been great last turn.
Wow, man, there's a Death Mist Raptor coming back too, because you could Murderous Cut the Den Protector, and then Thoughtseize after it flips. Which actually looks like Owen's play here.
It's not crazy. Yeah, he's going to Murderous Cut it face down Den Protector, knowing that Tom can flip it, but knowing that he plans to follow up with Thoughtseize.
Owen's still reasonably far behind at this point. He's got a Death Mist Raptor and a Rattleclaw Mystic to deal with.
I like the way he's played this turn, though. Seems like there's now a lot of things Owen can draw to be right back in it.
Well, he made Thoughtseize live as opposed to it not being live, which is nice.
Roast.
What Owen can draw, which would be amazing, is Elspeth. Elspeth, I think, is his best draw right now.
For sure. Den Protector's okay, too. It just is more Elspeth in his deck. There's the face down Rattleclaw. Owen draws Hero's Downfall.
Yeah, not a great draw, especially since the Rattleclaw is protecting the
right
the Death Mist here.
Do you have to downfall the Rattleclaw? Just buy yourself more turns?
Well, you're probably going to downfall whatever gets Haven back here, which I assume is Storm Breath.
Wow, I forgot about the Havens.
Yeah, well, Haven is a big part of the reason you play this deck is you get to play a 2-color deck that gets to play some lands that just draw you extra cards.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, we're really seeing the power of this Havens here.
And Tom was just playing that. So yeah, Owen's in trouble because he gets to downfall the Storm Breath. There's still another Haven waiting for him. Owen's still at 6 versus 5 power in play. Looks like Owen's goal of 200 points may be hard to achieve.
Yeah, his finals record is going to drop to 3-2. A pedestrian 3-2.
Only 60%.
Only having made the finals in 5 of the 7 weeks.
Right.
Tom Ross going to be opening up a little bit of cushion, though. He's now in position where he can back into the playoffs, even if he doesn't get any more wins next week. It's a big win for Tom. Wow. Owen decided to just take it. Basically felt like he needed to draw end hostilities to win this game, so wasn't going to waste his Hero's Downfall. And Tom Ross is your winner.
Yep.
How about that?
Works out for Tom. Is he locked for the playoffs now?
I don't have him at locked. So I have him at, what is he, 95 points? We can put the standings up and see how this plays out. So he came in at 60. He came in 4th place this week. So 35 points puts him all the way up at 95. Paul is at 75. Oh, maybe he is locked. Maybe he's locked for a tie. Paul is now at 75, and Jerry is at 70. So let's say if Jerry wins twice, he doesn't catch. So Jerry would have to win the week to pass him, and then Paul would have to finish 2nd to tie him. So if Jerry and Paul are on the same side of the bracket, then Tom has clinched. Jerry and Paul are on opposite sides of the bracket. So I believe Tom has clinched a tiebreaker, worst case. He can't be passed by 2 people, but he can be tied by Paul and passed by Jerry.
Right.
Yeah, so Tom Ross has all but clinched the playoffs. He has, in fact, clinched worst case scenario a tiebreaker. If he gets 1 win next week, he's in the playoffs. He plays Brad in the first round. Meanwhile...
Wait, Paul has 75 points now.
Paul now has 75 points, right. So
and Jerry has 70.
Jerry has 70. So in order for Tom to miss the playoffs, both Paul and Jerry have to pass him, which is not possible.
Gotcha.
Paul can lose to Jerry in the finals. Then Jerry would pass him and Paul would tie him. We'd have Paul versus Tom in a tiebreaker for the...
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I believe everybody except Andrew and Brian is still live for 3rd, right? Paul is currently in 3rd at 75. Josh is at 45, so Josh can get to 80. And Brad can get to 90. And Jerry can lose in the first round, while Jerry and Paul can both lose in the first round. So yeah, everybody, we've got 6 people live for playoffs, but realistically it's 4 people for 1 spot. Because Paul is all but locked. I mean, sorry, God, Tom is all but locked. We should chat with Tom.
Sounds good.
You put the bracket up while we get Tom in. Show you guys how we got here. There is the bracket. Kenji Egashira, or Egachion, I guess, substituting in. He got 10 points for Paul. by beating Josh Utter-Layton, but he then ran into the Tom Ross buzzsaw in the semifinals. Andrew Cuneo still struggling to win with that blue-white control deck. I mean, both his wins this season are with Black-Green Constellation. Tried the blue-white control deck again, did not fare well against Brad Nelson's Red-Green Ocean, but Brad ran into the Owen buzzsaw in that semifinal. So it was Owen versus Tom in the finals, and I can hear Tom Ross has joined us now. Congratulations, Tom. You are our Week 7 winner.
Hey, what's up? Thank you.
It's pretty good. I mean, not only did you win this week, but you are guaranteed to play more Magic after next week's first round game. One way or the other, the worst thing that can happen to you now is that you would be tied for third and playing a tiebreaker match at the end of next week's show.
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
It is a good place to be.
Owen's been very tough to beat. I played him. It's my 6th time playing him, and I lost 4 of the previous occasions.
Okay.
He's been the guy to get through. But I really didn't expect to beat him. I kind of kept a loose one in game 3, but he's playing a Thoughtseize deck and can't really kill me too fast. So I thought it was all right, and I was on the draw. He kept a similar hand when he spiked like a black mana on turn 1, the Thoughtseize Brad. If I spiked a green mana on turn 1 to play my Elvish Mystic, I'd have been in real good shape. But it turns out that I drew my lands fast enough to be competitive in that game.
So do you normally keep that hand? That hand in game 3, both Luis and I said we would have mulliganed it for whatever that's worth. But I mean, you have a lot more experience with the deck. Talk us through that thought process.
Yeah, I think it's a hand most people would mulligan, and maybe it is a hand I should have. But the upside of hitting a force early versus trying to mulligan against a Thoughtseize deck when he's on the play isn't really what I want to be at. Like, both scenarios are kind of bad and kind of risky, and I just kind of picked one.
Makes sense. So were there other key decisions in the match the way it played out?
Not really. Red-Green Dragon is kind of easy to play. I mean, just like, do you play like Thunderbreak Region or try to get another land off Courser, I guess, is the biggest decision. Do I want to like run out a blank? I mean, like not blank, but a Dragon Lord Tarka without a target, or do I like save it a little while for value, and like what cards to bring back with Haven? That's kind of about it. I think sideboarding is where the biggest decision come in. Because I don't know if Roast is good against them. I don't know. I mean, it is good against them, but I didn't know if Plummets were good against like the Naya Dragon deck, and I ended up figuring that they weren't all that good, and just being more aggressive with cards like Draconic War. What I did for game 3 against Kenji. I think the sideboard decisions is the biggest decision to make.
There was a fork in the road you were curious about, Luis, where he had Courser versus Den Protector and Flip It versus, what was that scenario?
Oh yeah, when you had 5 mana and this was game 2, I think, where you could play Courser and Flip It, or maybe no, this is game 1. Sorry.
Yeah, it was Courser or Den Protector, Flip It, or what was the third one?
Or Crater's Claws, Owen's Courser when you had 5 mana. I thought those were all pretty all valid lines, though. I think I would have played the Crater's Claws.
Yeah, probably been better. He ran away with game 1 because of the Courser. You might have drawn. You got like 4 or 5 lands from it. And it was likely the biggest reason he won the game. So killing the Courser as soon as I got a chance was probably the best thing to do. But I don't know. I think the line I had to take was like, just hope he doesn't hit lands off Courser and just try to kill him in the air because I was just so far behind from the get-go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you told us you chose this deck in part because you hadn't really had the chance to take it out for a spin. What do you think of it now? Is this a deck that other people should be playing, whether it's Friday Night Magic or Open Series is on the weekend or whatnot?
Yeah, the deck's very strong. It's full of just strong cards, and the mana base is pretty good too. Ollie's deck, the Naya Dragons deck, is good too. But this is just, I guess, slightly more consistent and has more potential to just run people over with just Draconic War, the first 2 creatures, and just get your beat down on Thunderbreak Regions and Stormbreath Dragons. But yeah, I think it's strong. I don't know. I mean, there's not much left of the season. I might play it next week. I might not. So,
fair enough. Grand Prix Providence in a couple of weeks?
That's a standard, right? There's an SG Open that weekend. I'll probably be going to that instead.
Fair enough.
But I'll be going to Charlotte though, the modern one next weekend.
Sweet.
Have we asked you about Modern yet? I know I've asked a bunch of people if they've come through the booth. What are you? Where are you at for Modern these days?
Well, I played Tron and Modern for a Modern week, and I felt like it was the best deck up until last week. Right now, it's probably not the best deck, but it was a good deck for the SG Invitational, and that is what I played, and that is what won. Right now, I don't know where I want to be. I hadn't played Infect in a while. I hadn't played it because there's been an uptick in Jund and stuff, and that's a bad matchup for it. But Amulet's decent to good, and Tron is Infect's best matchup. So
Interesting.
if there's ever a chance to play it, it'd be this upcoming Grand Prix.
Yeah, Owen was saying he normally likes Infect. He's just worried about all the Maliras that are running around. That sort of collected company Malira deck can just out of nowhere put this hate card into play in game one.
Yeah, Jund and that were the biggest reason not to play Infect. But now the Abzan collected company deck can't beat Tron at all, especially not Tron with a whole bunch of Ugins in their deck.
Sure.
So Tron might push the Coco deck out, and it might even push Jund out to an extent, and that'll give Infect a good window to try to spike a tournament.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
All right. Well, congratulations on winning this week. Looks like you've got at least a tiebreaker's worth of postseason in your future, and I mean, odds are we're going to see you in the semifinals one way or the other. So, congratulations and good luck with that. Hope you guys have enjoyed Week 7 of the Standard Super League. For Luis Scott Vargas, for our winner Tom Ross, we will see you guys same time, same place next week.
Thanks for watching.